Oh my god!
Y'all guess who this is for? I mean, just take a quick guess. Alright, so I've made my way into Chris's house. I don't know how I got here. I just kind of snuck in, and I also took this tank with me. We're gonna actually be building this setup, so this will be dope. And there's this weird homeless person just kind of sitting on the couch here with some big red. I don't know what they're doing, but they're kind of retarded. Look at that guy. I mean, look at him. So we're gonna kind of start figuring out what we're gonna do with this cage here. We're gonna get our jungle mix, our tray, our moss, plant it, make it look good. It's a nice little surprise for our buddy Chris.
Yeah, right? That's so the water like comes out of this and out of these and out of up there. Bro, you killed it.
You really think so?
Killed it.
Yeah. This is what I do for a living, pretty much.
Hey, well, there you go.
To tend to my animals, at least.
No, I'm glad.
Okay, so we have this Paludarium tray here. This is the tray we're going to be using in this enclosure here, and basically this platform is going to hold it up right about the water level, and then we'll be able to put some animals on the land portion so that we can make use of all of our space in this enclosure. We're going to go ahead and take this and throw that into the trash We'll pick that up later. So the first thing I think we're going to do here is we're going to take some of our pillow moss and we're basically going to cap that off. The reason we're going to kind of cap that off is we're going to actually fill this portion with substrate. Now we don't want that dirt to basically fall into the water. So putting pillow moss here will keep that from happening, but then we can have a plant come out of here. We're also going to have a plant come from here. Maybe there, it all depends on just what looks best, honestly. We got this jungle mix here, that's going to be the dirt we're going to be using for planting, and I love this stuff. I use this in all my enclosures. Zilla, please sponsor me, and we'll put that in there and see how it looks. Alright, we've got our pillow moss looking nice and green. So as you can see, it's been in this container for quite some time, so it's kind of losing shape, but as we get it all set up, it'll form back into place. So all we're going to do here is kind of just set it in there, just like that. We're going to add more to fill these cracks and crevices, and that's pretty much it. And just like that, we have our pillow moss in. Now we got to get some dirt in here and kind of figure out what all we're going to do. I'm still waiting on Chris. I don't know where he went. This is how it's looking here. We've got our tray in. This is kind of just a basic idea. We're basically going to drill some half-inch, not even half-inch, quarter-inch holes in the bottom. Because when the waterfall is flowing down, it's going to flow down to here. We're going to want some water to get through. We don't want it to build up in this tray and saturate the tray. Then it'll come down to here, drip down in the water, help oxygenate the water. The moss will also help filter it, and it should look pretty good. All right, go ahead, Chris. So we're drilling some holes here. Those holes are going to go in the bottom of that tray to allow for water flow in case you don't have water in. So that water can not get trapped up there and it can go back into the aquatic section. So that's all we're doing here. A very small drill bit.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got this jungle mix here. We're basically going to scoop some with this little cup here. We're going to scoop it into these areas so we can get ready for planting. That'll make it look really good. Obviously, once we get our plants in, this cage will look a whole lot better. So what we're doing now is we're basically filling up all the pockets that we're going to have live plants with our, of course, once again, our jungle mix. Once we get all that, then we're going to choose our plants that are going to be going into the enclosure, and then we'll go from there. It should look really good. Stay tuned. Look, we found a wild Chris.
Oh my gosh.
It's a wild Chris. So just to give you a quick idea of the plants we're going to be using in this enclosure, we've got a mixture of different things, a little bit of color. We've got some bromeliads here. We've got our fern branches, a palm tree, a lemon button fern, a vein plant, I believe. So that's basically what we're going to be using in this enclosure. We've also got some smaller plants, a polka dot plant right there, and another fern. All those will be going into this enclosure to really deck it out and make it look really good. Alrighty, so we have put some of our plants in the enclosure. We've got our vein plant up top there. Then we've got our fern in the bottom here. I think that looks really good. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it is. That's the lemon button fern, right?
Correct, yeah. Also the, what were we calling it? The lemon butt fern?
The orange butt fern?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's how that's going. We're gonna actually start adding some more plants, getting this thing really decked out. So now we've got our plants in and it is looking super awesome. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. And it's been several months in the process of building this, and we're finally getting it finished off, looking really good. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a layer of charcoal or carbon and then our moss on top. That'll really help filter out the water as it travels through and really make the enclosure look good. So. Alright, so right here we have our activated carbon. All we're going to do is do about an inch to a half-inch layer across the bottom with all that carbon, then our moss on top. That'll help, of course, as I said, filter out the water.
We are getting some of the plants in here. So we have some Broms or Bromeliads. There's multiple kinds. And in fact, we have some that are growing little babies already and all kinds of stuff. In fact, this is one of the smaller ones, the pups as you call it, right?
Correct.
Off of this one here.
Yep.
We have this kind of pink vein plant up here. What was this one called?
That guy's a polka dot plant.
A polka dot plant? Yeah, perfect. Polka dot
I don't know the
plant.
scientific name,
And a line plant, and a polka dot plant, and a butthead fern, lemon button fern, and we have moss.
Bald-headed fern.
Ball-headed fern, yeah, see? But I'm just going to tell you now, like the level of detail on this thing, if you look, these little rock piece of nature in my tank room, right? Because I love the scape tanks, I love the natural look, and this is truly my little piece of a rainforest.
Yeah, exactly.
Right inside of my room, and that's going to be so awesome. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this Paludarium tray, which this is very much like what we do in the fish keeping world, right? Is this tray actually, we're just going to empty this bag of activated carbon just right here. In fact, here, let's move this up a little bit just so we can get it in here.
Perfect. So once again, as I've said like 5 times already, that's just going to help with filtration. Carbon and charcoal is really just very beneficial for a lot of setups. Of course, you would know that it's used in a lot of aquariums. And I use it in all of my reptile setups pretty much. Carbon is the key to life other than water.
Yeah, it actually will remove a lot of the imperfections from your water as well.
Yeah.
So it also, actually, carbon is one of the main things to help with water clarity. So it removes a lot of the imperfections and a lot of the junk that causes water to be cloudy and such. So very good to have in your aquarium. Now I will tell you this though, because it is, you know, what it's made out of, you have to make sure you rinse this stuff because the carbon dust is actually really bad for the fish. So, and I'm assuming probably reptiles as well. So you want to make sure that you really wash this stuff off really good.
Which we have done.
Yes, we have definitely done. There he goes. Now he's inside the stick.
He just wants to be away from it. Look at the rope fish, guys. This is Christopher
Alright, you ready?
Scott's rope fish. That is so cool. He's showing me his other.
This is a Bumblebee Catfish.
Look at that.
And that Bumblebee Catfish is super pretty, but he super eats everything.
Alrighty, so we are currently working on this, and what do you think so far?
I mean, it looks like trash, but no, I'm just kidding.
No, but anyways, this
looks
thing
amazing.
is, yes, it looks crazy. We got our palm tree added in here to stick out. We have it planted in the solo cup, but we're actually going to tuck it away with some of this moss and whatnot here.
I kind of like the solo cup. I mean, it's, you know, adds a certain little...
You know, like the litter that's out in the world right now, just kind of gives that effect. Like, hey, someone littered. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty awesome, guys. Wow, guys, look at that. This thing looks insane. Obviously, the tray is now hidden. Now it'll be up to Chris here to hide the legs of the tray with his aquascaping abilities. I mean, if you come over here, these cages are so crystal clear. I absolutely love these things. And the rocks, man. How do you have? I have the ability to build a land portion, and you just got the ability to build an aquatic section.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah. So he's got amazing enclosures, of course. All his water is like crystal clear, like some Ozarka water going on here. So we're basically gonna finish off this build here with adding some branches, some more moss on the background, and of course the aquascaping. So this is the enclosure, and now it is popping. This thing looks so awesome. So now what we're gonna do is attempt to move this probably very heavy enclosure into Chris's fish room. Once we get it there, then we'll start the aquascaping and basically finish off this build. I honestly think this thing looks so dope. Chris is making a little piece of PVC that we have for the cord running back there. What did I say? Make it
disappear.
Make it disappear.
Yeah. So that piece disappeared. Look at
Yeah,
that.
it's gone. We just made it disappear. We're magic.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Two more. Okay.
Bye-bye, let's see if there's facial.
Like that, literally. you between you and Brenton and everybody else, I swear.
What happened to your hair?
Well,
It's just gone?
it's called old age, I guess.
It's called old age?
He's just gone.
I was trying to take his facial hair off.
Yeah.
What's left of it? So now we are just vacuuming out the rest of that debris there. Then you got some of your hair in there.
Well, I don't know. I
guess
don't know.
it's just growing
I
on
don't
you.
even know.
I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Alright. And what's this substrate for again?
So this substrate is it's a planted substrate.
Okay.
So it's actually made out of volcanic rock. It just has a great bunch of nutrients in it, so
Gotcha.
it holds roots real well and things like that. So yeah.
Sweet.
Now, drip paintbrush for it. This is specifically for
Not for painting, right?
not for painting.
Alright.
So this is for substrate, and you use this to get your substrate pushed back everywhere that you want it, right? Substrate nice and laid out here. This to really kind of build things up, and which we're not doing with this because the scape is everything up.
Yeah.
I mean, there doesn't need to be a scape down here. There's going to be a very minimal scape,
Okay.
and that scape is actually going to consist of a resurrection fern branch, which is actually died, but that's okay. So we're going to use this one here. Be a method to hide that post.
Yep. So we're basically using those just to cover the legs.
That's it.
Multi-purpose right there.
Absolutely. We'll push this one down in here. Figure out if there's a way we can kind of tuck this behind some moss maybe, or behind up into the side of the shelf, which worked. Perfect.
Sweet.
Legs, right?
Yeah, the legs are gone at this point. I mean,
Right.
you can't even see them, and either way, they kind of flow with the black substrate. If you get a glimpse of them, they still kind of flow with the black substrate. So this is looking like really good overall.
In mind. So I'm literally just going to kind of place some of these up in here
Okay.
and make just a cool little,
Setup.
yeah, I mean, there's really no method to the madness, just
Yeah.
kind of place them in, which Pyrotoad uses these
Yeah.
for feeding.
Yep.
We'll put some of these in the front of the tank a little bit. Let's build up some substrate back over here a little bit. Take these, and basically just want to throw them down in there, get them propped up. We'll put the other one.
We're pretty much just gonna repeat this cycle all the way through, right? Sweet.
I'm actually gonna put some of those. Now the Anubias doesn't need a whole lot of light. It's very, very low tech.
Awesome.
So we're gonna actually put both of these Anubias back here behind these rocks, just like this.
Really good.
And they will literally grow out of that rock like that.
That looks really awesome.
And that's literally all we're gonna do for escape.
Yep.
We don't have really anything else to worry about. I'm gonna put this moss back up here that fell. And the beautiful thing about this is as this moss falls, it's not dangerous for the fish, and it's gonna look like leaf litter and things like that, which you would naturally find.
Exactly.
So let's get some water in this thing. What do you think?
Oh yeah, heck yeah. So as you can see, what we're basically doing is we're just adding a piece of spiderwood in there. I asked him if we had any, and it turns out we didn't. It looks really good, and it kind of looks as if the land area is starting to root into the water. And of course, once we get animals and fish in this thing, there's no telling. This cage is gonna just be so awesome. Yeah, got a little bit of water on the floor. We're also thinking about turning his floor into a like an aquatic setup. So as you can see, all we are doing is just adding water to this enclosure for the plants and all that to really just deck this build out and really finish it. Once we get the water in there, we turn the pump on, get the waterfall going. I'm super excited for how this is going to turn out, guys. Stay tuned. Go subscribe to Chris's channel if you haven't already. He's got amazing videos, and if y'all like the aquarium stuff, which I know a lot of you do, he does all these amazing aquascapes. I mean, he does really good aquascape. I'm more of the landscape, I guess you could say, but he has really good aquascape setups. So definitely go subscribe to Christopher Scott, link in the description, and let's continue on.
To plug this thing in.
Yep.
So
let's plug in the filter first.
can you hold that too for me?
Yo, we're filming each other.
We're gonna plug in the filter first.
Alright.
And now for the waterfall. Are we ready?
Oh boy, this is the moment of truth, y'all.
We'll take a minute to prime.
Okay, we might have to adjust the flow a little bit.
There's some coming over here.
Let's see here. I got some from here.
There's some coming from up there. Yeah,
Let's create a nice
up.
drip.
Oh,
Wow.
this is amazing.
Yep. We can adjust the flow too, of course, guys, so don't worry. We can make it lower, higher. You can kind of see the drip effect that we got going on here.
Yep.
Wow.
Dude, I think this.
But holy moly, guys, this build is pretty much complete. You've still got a fogger to add to it, but other than that, it is just about done. And if I don't say so myself, this cage looks insane. So as you can see, we got our waterfall going. That looks super good back there. Then we've got our drip, you know, because obviously water's coming out of these other angles here. So you can see some dripping down here, and then as you go further back, you can see that drip effect. Now that'll continuously cycle, so you'll always have that effect going through. Then we've got our moss. Our tray is gone. There is no more tray anymore. And then of course our Aquascape setup. So this thing looks super duper good. I really like the way it looks. We got some plants that provide a little bit of color, a little bit of pop, the broms, all sorts of good stuff. So I am very happy with how this turned out. What about you, Chris?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am totally happy.
Yep. Alrighty, guys. After what, like 6 months or so?
No, come on. It wasn't that long. We started this in like February.
Yeah, after a good while of trying to get this done.
That was 6 months ago.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. See. So after a good while of trying to get this thing built, it is done, and let's just take a look at it. We open it up, get hit with a load of fog, and here's the setup. So if we turn the fogger off here, just so you can get a better view, guys, this looks insane. So we've got our waterfall here with the little river stones. We've got some trickle up top coming down. You can actually see it trickling down. Once again, it all recycles. It goes through the moss, through the carbon, helping it filter, back through here, coming back up and around. So it's all recycled. The water is not just being wasted or anything like that. We've got our plants, our bromeliads, our ferns, all sorts of good stuff. And wow, this thing looks just insane. The Aquascape job looks really good with the spiderwood in there, with the rocks, the plants. This thing is so dope.
Cloudy at the moment. But
Yeah, a little cloudy. It'll cycle out, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you want to switch to the night mode. So at nighttime, this is how it'll look. It looks just as cool. That'll be really cool once we get animals in here as well. So I'm really proud of how it's turned out. And yeah.
this is what changes.
Oh my god!
What
That was dope. That was just dope what you
This is
did
cool,
there.
right? Yeah.
Dude, it looks so
Dude, look
real.
Look at the waterfall and the waterfall and the water trickling down and
What? Bro, that is amazing. It's like so real. Like this is something I could see paying like upwards of like $1,000 for.
Yeah, exactly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back home with obviously Gamera, snapping turtle here. We're going to check on it. Now, obviously, it's a little cloudy, but he's in there. He's chilling right over there. You can barely kind of see him. Now, let me know, did y'all enjoy me doing that build with Christopher Scott? I know I sure as heck did. I think he did. I think he enjoyed it. Did y'all enjoy me setting up that enclosure with him? It has been so long in the process that we were trying to build it and so long that we were trying to plan it. But with everything going on this year, with all that stuff, it's been held back for way too long. So yeah, let me know. Leave a like on this video if y'all enjoyed. Let me know. You know, that's it. With that being said, we still got some sulcatas left, guys. I did not sell them all. I still have some, but they will sell fast. So come and get yours now. As you can see, they're quite crazy. These guys are going to be posted at Almo Exotics. Link in the description, of course, and as always. And if you would like a sulcata tortoise, definitely go check them out. Also, you can DM me if you need to DM me, and I'll definitely, answer you back if you're interested in the sulcata. So yeah. Now, before we do the outro, we got to get these little guys some fresh water. Alright, so we got a gallon of fresh, clear water for these little guys. All we're going to do is pour some water into that little dish right there. If we miss a little bit, it's fine. They have got fresh water, so they are now happy little sulcatas. With all that being said, we are now out here in our ponds, just checking them out, enjoying them. But make sure to leave a like on today's video to let me know how I did. If you actually enjoyed this week's video, I, of course, sure as heck did. Definitely leave a like on this video. Secondly, if y'all haven't watched or subscribed to Christopher Scott's channel, go do so right now. Go tell him that you came from my channel. Say, hey, came from Pyrotoad, I just subscribed. And definitely go do that, please, for sure. And his channel will, of course, be linked in the description below. You'll be able to check him out, watch his videos, see his end or his angle of this build that we did. So definitely go check out his channel if you want to see more of me and just our build overall. Lastly, and most certainly not least, make sure to subscribe. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, 2,000 people. So once we can get there, then 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and so on. So please subscribe so we can get to 2,000 subscribers. That's about it. I'm enjoying my ponds, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!